Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 4 of Big Whoop. I am Bradley Oberreiter, always hosted at the fabulously luxurious studios here at Judson University. We got a great production for you today, have our first interview, which kind of makes it feel like the first real episode in a different way now because we're getting into the deep end of the pool, and it's exciting. The world was shut down this last week, and by the world, I guess I mean the Midwest, and by the Midwest, I specifically, mean Chicago. Very cold, very cold. So the interview we had set up, kind of had to take an audible. Big Whoop went remote, was traveling for this interview, and it was very exciting. We did not let the cold weather stop us. We said, nay, we shall persevere. Nay, famously said by John Pinette, the comedian, and also I think Silento, and We Are Tunes. So we didn't let that stop us. The trolley train continued on. Choo-choo, choo-choo. We took it on the chin and we said we're going to adapt and conquer. Who did we interview? Great question. A guy I've known for a few years now. His name is Creighton North, and he is a professional model. So he gets paid to have people look at him professionally. So that is cool and interesting. So we took the show on the road and went out to his apartment. So if you are listening, it might sound a little different. And if you're watching, obviously it's going to look different. So good guy. He had a GQ photo shoot recently. He had a Vogue Singapore photo shoot recently, as well as he's a content creator. He streams and does a few other things. So we discussed modeling industry, walking a runway, how he got started in this industry, kind of how his personal life and faith intertwines with this, this industry that he walks in, and as well as looks maxing, which if you are any older than me, you're going to have to Google that one to know what that even means. And some applicable health tips for you, for me, of how to feel well and how to look good. So touched on a lot of topics. It was a lot of fun being out there. I appreciate him hosting us. And we kind of had to, again, call an audible. And it was a good episode. Kind of like this one. At about 60% of the way through, I know what you people want to see. You want to see him. He's the one with the hair and everything. So I put the camera angle on him. I just put it on him. I left it on him. So, I know how it is. So you'll see that a little bit. Let's see. Oh, something I had to discuss. International news is, let's put it up here. Yeah, this is President Macron. And I can say it like that because I found out recently, unfortunately, I am a little bit French. So don't be upset at me. This is him at the World Economic Forum in Davos. And look at him. I mean, this is not my original bit. I know other podcasters have done this. I don't even know if I'll stick with it. I'm wearing sunglasses for the audio people. But look at this. I put on sunglasses indoors for a few weeks, and all of a sudden he does it as well. That is my shtick. Macron. That is my shtick. So we will be taking legal action against him. I know he has a great legal team. I'm on X. I know they got their hands plentiful. But he has not met the absolute dogs of a legal team that we have. Lawsuit after lawsuit will be filed against this cat. Frog. So we'll see how that goes. We'll give him some time to respond. Other housekeeping items. Tuesdays, I think, will be the day of release. I think I'll be putting these out on Tuesdays. That way Sundays can be Sundays for me. And then Mondays can actually be the day where I focus in on it, put some final touches. So if you are watching or listening on YouTube, Spotify, wherever you find yourself, please go ahead and hit the subscribe, follow button. If you're on YouTube, hit that little bell. And I appreciate whether this is your fourth time tuning in or your first time. Thank you. Thank you for every view, every comment, every like. I appreciate it a lot. And we are just getting started here. We got a couple nice weeks coming up as well. Just finished a recording yesterday. So yeah, got some good content coming up. That's why it kind of feels like the first real episode, because here's some actual traction now. So it's going to be hot. It's going to be good. Last thing, and then I'll send you over to the interview, look at this on the table. Official Big Whoop merch. Huh? This is a black trucker hat, and stitched in white on the front, it says Big Whoop with Bradley O'Brider. To be honest with you, my mom actually made these for my birthday last July, and it's very much the first draft. In fact, some of the stitching is a little weird. So, I like the idea of it being a couple years from now, and these are like really limited edition before an actual release. But at the same time, I've got a few of them because my mom had to reach a minimum with the company she used. So I might set that up soon. I might, give a really moderate price to it because this is very much like an early draft, first release sort of a thing. So look for that coming up soon. Other than that, I believe that is it. I will send you over to the interview. Thank you so much. Check it out. It was a lot of fun. See ya. You ever heard of looks maxing?
Yeah.
Okay, I want to cover that. They bring it up to you a lot?
Yeah, the kids I was talking about. The kids in my TikToks are always like, look, Maxer, look, Maxer.
Do they really? No. Do you guys have internet here?
Yeah.
You guys don't have any internet here. This is
Yeah. That's what,
this is Venezuela, the night of...
That's how my roommates keep me offline. They tell me I'm streaming, but I'm like, really?
They shut it off.
Internet.
Dude, they use those same Venezuelan weapons against us. Cut everything off. You have no internet. I don't believe you.
Oh,
I'm in downtown Chicago.
That's rough.
I've gotten shot at 6 times since I was here, and there's no internet, and there's no electricity.
There's a feral dog
There's
at
a
our
feral dog.
feet.
I would fare better in Iran right now. Here.
Or Elgin.
Yeah, or Elgin. You don't like looks maxing?
No, I'm fine.
Are you a looks? I think you are inadvertently.
I kind of am. I'm going to take these off.
Yeah.
Have we started? Is this show or is this not? Maybe not.
Yeah, we'll trim or not trim.
I'll leave it until you intro, whatever. Yeah. I mean, being a model kind of is, you have to think about that, like, your appearance and what you can do to like look your best all the time kind of thing. So I think by default I am a little bit of a look maxer. I have been. I think I'm just like, I don't know, maybe generally too aware of my image in some sense overall.
Well, do you have to be? You have to be a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. I think even before I was a model, though, that was something maybe why I got into it a bit too, just like being minded of like, oh, I like fashion, I like clothes, I like how like things make you look and stuff. And so, yeah, I don't know if that all counts as looks maxing, which I think it does.
I think it does. I think, have you seen the, which I hate stuff that's like this, I get very squirmy, but have you seen like the bone smashing?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. See, even like that, I like cringe a little bit. But it's more of like, you kind of just like create microfractures and everything.
Yeah. That I couldn't.
Yeah, it's really weird. Dude, some of this stuff I can't, like the height.
Yeah.
I can't. I literally cannot. I don't even look it up. I don't Google it. I can't see that.
Yeah. I mean, I have never and would never get like work done, like cosmetic surgery or anything like that.
I did. Guess what I did? Take a look at me and guess what I did here.
Lip job.
No. Yes.
What?
Wait, look at me.
Did you break your nose?
No. Yeah. Dude, legitimately, why is my nose so big? It is, isn't it? I noticed that like 2 weeks ago. Look at this puppy.
It's very straight. So
no, it's very.
Well, you have a bridge, but like straight on, like if you're looking down it's straight, and so that's why I was like, did it get broken?
I legitimately don't know if my nose looks like it got broken before and had surgery done.
Off the guns now. Okay.
No,
I didn't know that's where this was going.
Well, I thought maybe I would mislead you with the what did I get done? What was I saying? I'm probably about I'm probably 20 pounds underweight. And I haven't worked out in like 6 months.
Dang.
Yeah, it's not good. How do you work out a lot?
Yeah, quite a bit.
Yeah.
I try to lift like 3 to 4 times a week, and then cardio another 3 times.
You lift 3 to 4 times and you do cardio?
Yeah. I mean, I do workouts probably at least 5 days a week kind of thing. And then
Well, that's why when I texted you, I was legitimately interested in what you do for
Looks Maxine.
Looks Maxine. I'm like, how do you connect with these young people at the I was like, I'm trying. I'm saying, skibbity and Ohio. Dude, can I tell you something?
Yeah.
So literally, I walk around saying toilet, and nobody understands what I'm saying. I go 67 toilets.
Yo.
Yeah, and I say yo a lot.
Yo, 67
Yo.
toilet.
Yo, 67 toilets. I go, there they go. And they're like, what?
Do those kids, the college kids, they feel like really young to you now? Like, does it seem like...
I'm in this weird spot. Thanks for interviewing me. And thanks again for having me over. I appreciate it. I'm honored to be your guest today. I don't even know what you do. We'll talk about that. No, it's weird because I have this odd thing, and this is completely true. I feel like I should be 21 or 22 or 23. So I look out in a crowd of college kids and I'm like, oh, I'm just a couple years older than them.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, dude, no, I'm not.
I'm like 10 years older than them.
I'm 10 years older than them. So it's kind of weird. It's like this double-edged thing of I'm older and I don't think I am, but when I'm kind of like vice free, I have the energy maybe of like a 21-year-old.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of weird. So but then I say skibbity and brain rod and it's really bizarre.
Yeah.
Creighton, let's talk about you for a little bit. What do you do? What am I doing here?
Yeah, sure.
You've paid me $8,000 to interview you.
Bring in all this expensive iPhone 12s and...
Don't give away the game. Don't give away the game. You mean these Black Magic pocket cameras?
Yeah, this insane lighting setup.
But you've done a lot of things, and why I'm sitting here today is you're a good guy, known you a little while, and dude, that was the first time. Are you wearing these the whole time?
Yeah, let's take them off.
What if I put on my glasses? What if
you put another layer on?
I do have my glasses.
You're like, can I get those?
Well, my thing is I'm kind of fine with the way I look. Mm-hmm. Oh, so I'll finish introducing you.
Sure.
You were a model.
Yes.
And fairly good at it. You look sharp.
Thanks, man.
You're doing an outfit a day for a month. Like I said, I would probably run out on day 7. And from there on out, it would just be different pants with different sweatshirts. But you're in the modeling world, and very impressively, too. It seems genuinely like since you started till now, it's been a crazy trajectory. You are an architect. Mm-hmm. I'll speak for you.
Yeah, please.
You're an architect who is now a model. Is that rare to have, I don't want to make an insult, but like somebody who is so equipped being a model? Like, is that rare? Are you... My question, my rude question would be like, are you the smartest model out there? Oh. That's kind of what I mean.
You'd be surprised. And I think that's one of the things, like, they're in part of it too. I mean, we're in like a Chicago market where like a lot of the people aren't like full-time, well, very few people are like full-time models. Most of the people have other stuff going on. But I think, as I've grown and made a lot of connections and friends, you realize more and more like, oh, these are just like, a lot of these people are doing the same thing that I'm doing. They're working full-time. They have, great degrees, master's degrees, whatever, doing other stuff, and just modeling as well. So I don't know. It's hard, I'm sure the LA market and the New York crowd are maybe a little different, and people that kind of like got into it at a much earlier age. But especially here in my friend group, it's a lot of people that have had to balance careers and stuff as well. And so, a lot of capable people, I guess. And it's crazy to see just like the capacity and the drive that they have, whether, whatever field they're pursuing. A lot of people are running their own business as themselves being a business, and a brand, and like what that means. So it's cool.
Because I did mean it. It seems like since you started, which was about the time I dropped Josh off, it seemed like you were starting.
Yeah, that's
and
I was getting
now
back in. Yeah.
You're back in. You're right. You're right. I said the wrong thing. And now GQ, Vogue, really impressive things. I'm like, this cat's got some gigs that I think people probably wait a decade, hopefully, to land.
Yeah.
Or is that not true?
Thanks. I don't know, really. I mean, for me, it's felt like a long time coming in some sense, because I first started modeling like 5 years ago. And granted, it wasn't, I did it for a few years kind of in the capacity that I could on and off, and wasn't really giving it my all. And then I took some time off. And so it's now like a year and a half, a year and 3 months kind of thing since I've like really started pursuing it or pushing it in earnest. And that's where I've seen like a pretty steady incline. And so I don't know in terms of, I think I always see like what's holding me back, and like what are the other people. I'm later, older, I guess, starting later than a lot of people, and so that definitely challenges me, and I think keeps me from maybe making more of a profession of it, rather than having it as like paired with architecture and spatial design and stuff like that. It makes it more difficult to get kind of the big agency stuff. But I've definitely seen, like, as I've been able to kind of like really pursue it in the way that I think is best and put the time into it. This past year has kind of taken off in a lot of ways.
That's awesome.
So
does your age have something to do with it in a positive format? Because it is, that's interesting you bring it up, because I'm hyper aware of that also for some reason. Again, going back to kind of what we were talking about, where it's like, I feel like now at the end of 20s, which is bizarre.
Yeah.
I genuinely do you feel that where it's like, that's crazy? So it feels weird being our age, getting into a creative aspect.
Yeah.
Like you can be our age and get into law or like anything else. Again, it's still a little late, but specifically into a creative thing, does that, on the flip side, help you where you're able to stand out amongst your younger peers because of your maturity, because of how you handle yourself, how you're able to be more aware, how you have more experience? Do you think that's helped with your trajectory, or do you think, no, it's just basically you show up, if you look good or not, and you're out the door?
It helps me when I'm on set and when I've got the job. I think that is where I think.
And do people like that? Are photographers like, I guess this is what I mean, where they're like, finally, yes, okay, all right, you know what you're doing?
Right.
Good. You know, it's not another 20-year-old who's like, is there some sort of benefit where they're like, no, we love you, you're good, we don't have to babysit you?
Right.
Is there a little bit of that?
Yeah. I feel like there's a lot of answers.
Yeah, I'm sorry. And I cut you off.
No, you're good. It's like, I think some of that is just, I'll just say talent. Like, they get in the door and they're like, oh, this guy knows what he's doing. Like that is, and that can come at any age, depending on like experience and, how good you are and how confident you are in what you do. And so I don't necessarily attribute it to my age so much as just having done it for a while, I guess, and like feeling good about it. Yeah. There is definitely like the maturity aspect of just like, I'm not going to mess around. I'm going to take it seriously. I'm going to be on time. Like things like that I think it would blow your mind how much that like plagues like people doing jobs and getting on set and stuff like that. And you hear photographers and creative directors and people talking about it. It's just like, man, it's like so hard to work with. And that's why I feel like the models can get a bad rep sometimes, because it is a lot of young, people just like having a good time. Yeah. Where I think it most hurts me right now is just that my look is just like kind of in a weird spot. Like late 20s is kind of a weird area for, what agents, especially in like commercial markets like Chicago is, they're looking for young college age students. Like that's a type, that's a look, or they're looking for like young adults, which a lot of times is more like mid 30s, somebody who could be a young father, a young dad. I'm like late 20s, which is kind of a weird in between. I also look young. Right. You do. Yeah, you do. People usually think I'm like early 20s and stuff like that. So it's like this weird thing of, if I submit to agencies or jobs and they see, like 29 is my age.
Yeah, you and I are both 29.
But then they see how I look. It's like, it's kind of a weird.
I think they would be drawn to that, where it's like, oh, this cat looks young, looks good. And by the way, for everybody listening, when I say looks good, I shop in a different section of the store. You know what I mean? I shop in a different section.
Get on YouTube.
Okay, I'm not, don't worry about it. Nobody worry about me, I know my legs are kind of crossed a little weird. I'll sit again more like this.
Weird.
I ain't stepping up to the plate to take a swing. But I think people would be drawn to that because it's like, oh, this guy is older. It's the pros of how you look, look young, good look to you, and it's the pros of your age.
Yeah.
You certainly. That's why when I look at your stuff on Instagram or whatever, and what is your Instagram?
Just my full name, Creighton.North.
Creighton.North.
Thanks, man.
What are some? I'm gonna pull up some things here.
Oh boy.
What are some projects you've done recently that you like? Name your portfolio a little bit.
Name my portfolio.
Yeah, you're not just some, Coldwater Creek model.
You mentioned the two biggest ones that I just recently did, and those are probably some of my coolest experiences I've had shooting. So I got to do a digital cover for Vogue Singapore.
Vogue Singapore.
Yes, which was just very sick because their editorial, Vogue is a lot more editorial looks and very high concept, high creative stuff. And so, here we go. And so the looks were just kind of crazy. One of my friends was at hair and makeup, and they just did a really good job. The photographer is excellent. Got to shoot with him a few times. Yeah. And so then to see that the photos just came out this week, actually. So that's, you saw them. Just got released, and to see my work, like, I don't know, getting recognized like that, and to know that it's, making billboards and things like that is just wild.
Absolutely. It is.
This is my, I don't know. Do I talk about what you're selling?
Yeah, I'll overlay it. So please. People will be seeing this.
This is one of my agencies. And so this is just my portfolio with them. So these are very like, kind of like more basic images and very commercial, Okay. Because the Midwest is very commercial in the type of jobs they book.
What does that mean?
When I say that means if you think like Target and Kohl's and stuff that's a lot more centered around like families and not like high fashion stuff. Whereas if you're thinking like editorial looks, that's like the magazine stuff that goes into, Gucci and their like high runways and
it's
Dior,
more Target
like
and Walmart and
yeah.
Okay, I just want to make sure I heard right.
And the vibe feels totally different, like it's more smiley and happy and a little bit more like basic looks rather than like, if you look at the Vogue shoot, like that's the makeup was crazy, the colors were nuts, the images were more like high contrast and
I want to pull that up
just
too.
Totally different. So
is there a difference of posture on the people on set? Like when you walk in, is it a little more like, oh shoot, this is different? They kind of handle themselves.
It is.
Like what's the culture like, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I don't know if I've noticed much like difference in set culture. It is just like what they book and look for, like commercial stuff like that is very authentic and like real people. They want you to feel relatable, like a real person. Whereas like you look at that Vogue cover, that doesn't feel like a real person at all. That feels like so like, high concept storytelling.
Yeah. High concept storytelling.
Yeah. Whereas commercial is just it's much more authentic, and they want you to be marketing a product that people will be like, oh, that I can identify with that person and shoot that kind of stuff. So
which one do you like better? You've kind of had both ends so far.
Yeah, so this has been. I'm
sure the pay obviously helps make that decision.
The commercial stuff pays a lot better.
Better than this
is surprising.
Well, do they? Maybe it's not, because do they claim that this is like a real portfolio booster?
Yeah.
And that's value.
So like the Vogue stuff, the GQ stuff, editorial stuff generally doesn't pay super highly, and a lot of it is just because it's like sought after, right? And so you do it more to get your name out there.
Yeah.
your stuff out there. Whereas this, like that feels like that could be in a catalog sort of thing. And that's what pays the real money because it's real marketing.
Yeah.
And I personally, I like doing the editorial, like high fashion stuff more. I think my look tends to like lean a little bit more that way. Like I'm a little slimmer.
Yeah.
I have like the high cheekbones and like more of like angular features and stuff like that, which tends to be a little, Judson, don't look at that. Tends to be a little more editorial leaning.
Right.
And that's something too, like most photographers, like if you're just doing like collaborative shoots, they want to shoot that kind of stuff because it's fun and it's, you know,
they
like
want to shoot this level.
Yeah. It's very
stuff.
like story
Okay.
focus. And so, that's been a big thing for me is trying to like readjust my portfolio this past year and get more commercial stuff in because that's what books. And I've struggled for sure getting agency gigs because especially around here, that's what they book. It's just all commercial stuff. And so
Interesting.
it's been a constant, adjustment for me trying to think of like, okay, what do I want to shoot versus what's going to get me gigs? What are that agents looking for? What are the bookers looking for and stuff like that? So it's a bit of a challenge for sure. And something I've had to kind of adjust and rethink a lot.
Yeah. How many gigs a month typically do you get? Is it one a month or is it like 8 just of different scales?
It really depends on, and that's kind of the biggest thing that makes it so hard for anybody to do it full time is that it's just so inconsistent, right? Right. Like during Chicago Fashion Week and the months around that, I was insanely busy. I had like a ton of runway shows. Those led to some shoots and stuff.
Oh,
and
Runway also. I want to touch on that. I'm glad you just brought that up.
Yeah. So that was like I was doing, shows, like multiple shows a week kind of thing and was insanely busy. And then now, kind of trying to be, I've decided to take a step back a little bit more from doing the smaller stuff and try and focus on my agency and doing their gigs and doing good auditions and things like that, going to good castings, prioritizing work that pays well. And so that's got me, slower, not doing as many gigs right now. Because I'm trying to be a little more selective in what I do and figure out.
Oh, you are? You're going a little more selective?
Yeah, kind of thing.
Okay.
I mean, I'll shoot more than that. I'll do collabs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I had GQ like a couple weeks ago and I did Vogue last month and stuff, but those are the only like big ones that I've done recently. I've done like collabs and stuff, but nothing big.
So where do you want this to go? Do you want to keep doing this? Do you want to do something else? Is this your passion thing? Are you close to having this supplement your income or what? What would you, 5 years from now, what would you want it to look like?
That's a great question.
Thanks, man. I get paid the big bucks for it.
Yeah. That's why you get the sponsors.
Yeah, that's why. Which we'll do. We'll do in a minute. You can do while I go to the bathroom.
Okay, perfect.
Where do you want this to be in 5 years?
I would love to be doing modeling more and more. I am in a little bit of like a stage of transition right now where I'm like starting a new job. Yeah. Out of like architecture into more of a spatial designer role, my other career.
Yeah.
And so that is something where obviously whenever you have change like that, I'm gonna have to see what it's like. What does that mean for modeling? I could never see myself like completely stopping fashion and modeling and content creation and stuff. Right. I've definitely been leaning recently a little bit more into like the personal content and video creation and
on TikTok.
Yeah,
like
personal channels or whatever, stuff like that.
What is it on TikTok? What's the name? Is it
same thing?
Creighton North.
Yeah, nobody has my name, so it's good.
Yeah.
But I want to still do, and part of me thinks that like being able to balance it a little more, not pushing so hard like I was these past year and a half on a lot of like smaller things, but trying to balance it more and focus on, catching bigger fish, I guess, and doing the agency stuff, the agency jobs, trying to get signed with some of the big agencies, the good agencies. that would be my goal. I mean, really, my hope would be to get placed in New York or LA with some of the good agencies there, and get representation kind of across the country. But what that looks like in the next, 3 to 5 years, it's really hard to tell. And so much of that is about right place, right time, and right look. So I don't know. I think my focus currently has been kind of trying to shift into what is my brand on a personal level, and how do I want to portray myself personally, and what can I pursue and control, that's within my control, rather than constantly being at the whim of these creative directors and these bookers and these agents and what they're doing. And so that's kind of been the push for me to find my voice with my own content and stuff like that. But
you kind of want to build your own brand or business. So you're kind of shifting away from how many actual bookings do I have to an all around, I'm doing this stuff on TikTok. I'm doing these photo shoots when they come up. Kind of building your bases, like a business, business,
100%.
Multifaceted.
Right. And the thing that I've seen, I think a lot is that, the people who are most, sure of what they have going on and pursuing their own thing, wholeheartedly, and giving the effort to stuff that builds themselves, what's my career, what's going to benefit me, rather than just I'm taking this little side gig or this little collab or something that's, it helps me that week, but is it actually going to build up my own business? That's when the agencies and the brands all come calling, because they see you have your own identity, and you've figured out what you're doing, and you're being authentically you, and they're like, we want you to be part of that or to represent
They like
us.
that.
Yes.
What is the air of a photo shoot? Is it as scary as people would think, or are you like, it's just people?
It is when you first start, for sure. And maybe that's different for everybody, because I don't think I am a naturally super I'm confident, but I don't think I'm great at everything. I need to build up confidence in my abilities through experience and by feeling like I can do it. And so when I first started, I was not good.
Really?
Flat out. I think some people could start and hit the ground rolling maybe, but I really needed to build that up over time and stuff. And so really what that's taught me is there's a lot more talent to it than I think what people would just guess. A lot of people look at it and be like, oh, you're taking photos and you're posing for images and stuff. But once you get into it and realize what posing is and what that whole mantra is and what that looks like, and Runway, the talent of that, and acting's a whole other thing. That's insane. And there he goes. Anyways, where's the V8? Which camera? That one. This week we found a new sponsor, Fresca, which is in the. Is it its own thing? Are they Pepsi product, Coke product? The Fresca family of products. 0 calories, tastes great, 0 carbs, a little bit of sodium in here. Comes in all sorts of flavors. I, for one, love the grapefruit. It's delicious. That's my dog. She approves of it as well. You want to give it a little sniff? You want to see if it's good for dogs? Great for dogs. These, I could pound these babies all day, but I don't. I'll have one, maybe. And a little life hack. Fresca puts this on the box. Put it in a glass. Feels more professional. Goes down cleaner. And endlessly refreshing. So, I'm not going to step on V8's toes. That's probably going to come later. But yeah, get yourself a Fresca. And I'll just pocket all of that if they sponsor us. That's not going to go to Big Whoop at all. just straight to me. And follow me on TikTok and Instagram, Fresca, if you want to, you know where to find me. So, yeah. Oh my gosh, is he crapping in there?
Did you do the VA commercial?
No. I did my own thing.
I'm so sorry. That's so rude. Dude, when I was asking the question, I was like, I should not be asking this.
I really got to go.
I have to go. You want to do a V8 commercial?
Yeah, let's do it. Queen, get out of the cameras. My dog. Say something nice about V8.
Yeah.
Should we do like a little skit or something? Do you ever drink them after?
No, not those. Those are my prop ones.
Yeah, specifically prop. There's not actually a V8 in here.
No, there is. But those are my prop ones. Like I purchased those
I use them
specifically.
specifically for.
Yeah. Okay, so look into that camera.
Yep.
Look into that camera and crack it open.
Oh, but it's a prop.
No, you can drink it.
Okay.
Go ahead. A lot of pressure riding on this. Right?
Skibbity toilet.
I hate you. No! I hate you. That is real toilet. No! Boy, I mean, isn't that a tasty beverage?
Okay. Yeah, it's good. Actually.
Wow, where could you like dial it up? Where would you drink that?
Oh, I would drink this anywhere, anytime, any place.
Oh my god!
I would keep this on my nightstand.
You'd
and I would
keep that
drink
on
it
your
in the middle of the
nightstand.
night. Yeah.
Wow. And
get
what?
that.
And don't you notice notes of?
Notes of
Right.
I taste some vegetable for sure, in a good way.
Oh, do you really?
In the best.
I don't think I ever have. They're paying me $8,000 for this.
No, yeah, it's good. Pomegranate blueberry.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, I always, whenever I need energy, I only drink those.
Really? Mm-hmm. Oh, so this is caffeinated?
I don't drink anything else.
Oh, is this going to keep me up tonight?
If I'm like, hey, I need a little boost or something, I don't go for anything else. I don't go for coffee.
Really?
I don't go for Monsters.
He says,
I just go, huh?
He says with a coffee in his hand.
What are you talking about? No, the camera's on you. They can't. No, why'd you do that? Why'd you ruin that?
What?
Camera's on you right now.
Okay, here.
It shouldn't be on me.
Let me get another take.
It shouldn't be on. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Nectar of the gods.
Wow.
Like that?
That was pretty good. That was pretty good. If they send me a contract,
It's delicious.
that's what the brands want to see. They want to see. Yeah. That's a good product. Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, not bad, right?
No, it's
V8
good.
Energy. Drink it with your friends.
Oh, that's a way better tagline.
Oh, what is a runway like? I'll see if I can find one specifically where you're on a runway. But that's what I thought I had seen on Instagram.
Yeah.
Where
Yeah, I have some of those.
Yeah, dude, that is cool. What is that like?
For one, it's embarrassing that I'm sitting here talking about becoming a business and a brand, and I have like 200 followers. So don't. That's exposed.
No, you don't. You have over 1,000.
Yeah.
1,500.
Whatever.
Well, this is TikTok. 230.
Yeah. We're just starting. It's more, I think, for me,
What is this?
just like practice.
Creighton at a fashion event.
Practicing learning how to create content and finding your own identity.
Right.
Runway, I think to me is some of the most fun in modeling. Just some of the best times that I've had. The shows are great. I love like the performative nature and being in the spotlight and stuff. It's super fun.
Do you get to choose your outfits?
No, not at all.
Okay. You're specifically. Where was that mall? Was that at
Hawthorne.
Hawthorne Mall?
Yeah.
So, are you specifically chosen for an outfit, or
Yeah.
is it the other way around?
It is. It can depend. It can depend on it. So basically, with all these shows, especially when you're just starting out, they have castings, and you just go to the castings. They'll hold the casting. You know, they'll put it out on social media or whatever. Agencies will send them around, and you know, if you're a model, come show up, and basically you have to like walk for a panel of the designers, the production team. The designers will have been already brought on, and so they'll basically have their outfits already in mind, and then they're looking for people that they want to like fit in those outfits.
I see.
It's usually how it goes.
So does it get as specific as, like these pants you're wearing? And this is just like a niche question, but let's say it's a certain inseam, it's a 34 length pant, and it's a 34, 36 waist, or whatever it is. Do they look for somebody who has that exact dimension, or
or close? Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
so then they can tailor the clothes a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, generally they won't actually adjust the clothes themselves. Maybe if they really want you in something, but it's more just they'll look for somebody with the dimensions to fit it. And so like whenever you go to these auditions and castings, you provide them with your comp card, is what it's called, and it has all your measurements listed out. And so the designers will know kind of like what they're working with beforehand.
Interesting.
This is not Runway, but it's very nerve wracking in some sense. I at this point have done a lot of them, so I don't really get nervous for them anymore. But it is like pretty high pressure, and there's definitely a culture of how they want you to to act, and you have to have a strong walk. There's a bunch of different styles of walks of. Different designers want different things, and how you pose, how you step, and all that stuff. And so
they're specific about that too. Oh wow, really?
Yeah. Different designers all want different things, and so
how different is a photo shoot from Runway? Can people who do one inadvertently do the other, or is it like, oh no, the people who do photo shoots are used to 3 or 4 people in a room, and now you're asking them to go out in front of unlimited? They can't do that. It's not.
Yeah.
Is it?
It's totally different.
It's totally different.
Yeah. I would say like most models, like, and it depends on your agency too. Like a lot of the commercial agencies aren't really doing runways. But like editorial tends to be a little bit more runway. And so even in the Chicago scene here, like by doing Runway, I have met a lot of like the Runway models, and you see a lot of the same faces between different shows. And there's kind of a scene here. And a lot of them will also do shoots as well, but they do a lot of Runway. I think it's definitely a different skill set, and usually you don't like start with Runway. So generally most Runway models can also pose and do shoots and stuff like that. But I would say not all like photo shoot models know how to walk Runway.
Let me ask you a question about Runway models. So you have a I don't want to glaze, and people are gonna be like, wow, he's really talking about this guy's look. And so I just want to give disclaimers of, it's not that way, but it's not the way it obviously looks like.
Right.
But
people don't know.
But no, you absolutely work in a cool industry, and it's very unique. So let me ask you this: with Runway models, it's almost like the people look unique. I'll just say, and you have like a classic kind of like, just like a classic blonde, good-looking guy. But when I see, it probably didn't help that as soon as I ended that, I went,
but
no, I licked my lips. It's probably not a good sign. I will skip this episode entirely.
Okay.
No, but what I mean is like you have sometimes with these Runway shows or whatever, like Project Runway, I look at these cats and they look very interesting. Like they look like unique facial bone structure where it kind of looks like this basic human that anything can be put on them. But at the same time, I'm like, oh, that person I would double take if I look down the street. Is that intentional, or why? What makes a model attractive? Like what makes somebody go, oh, that's our person?
Yeah, it is interesting because it's not necessarily, like conventional, like I guess standards of what you would say is attractive. A lot of times it can just be like a look more than anything. And that's usually what you hear people say, oh, he's got the look, or they've got the look. And by that, they just mean like it is still generally good looking, but like you have a distinct look to yourself. I feel like as far as models go, like relatively kind of generic looking. Like I look pretty, like people always have like, oh, you look like this, or you look like this, you look like this.
Right.
Like because I look,
you look like a template a little bit. Yeah. You look like a default character
so
at the beginning of the game. A little bit. A little bit.
Basic Fortnite skin. And
I see that as a strength, but go on.
But a lot of people, they'll have like signature things about them that, you know, make them stand out, and that kind of defines their look. And generally when like a modeling agency is filling out their roster, or like, you know, bringing on models, signing models, they want to have just like a widespread range of models that basically serve a bunch of different looks. And so that's why a lot of times, like if you're trying to get signed, so much of it can just be like time and place, because maybe they just already have people that kind of look like you,
right.
you know, and they're just aren't looking for that, and they're looking to fill like different looks that they
like
have.
they need a Mongolian person,
Right,
and you're
right,
like,
yeah,
they're like, you're the first.
right, or they need somebody with, you know, more of a rounded face,
right.
or they need somebody with like different hairstyle, different hair color, different eye color. Like it's crazy.
When you're walking a runway, is it ever interesting? Like, do you make eye contact, or is it just above and you got your point, you're locked in?
Yeah, typically no eye contact.
No eye
it's
contact.
Generally kind of like you're just like looking off the end. You're usually trying to find the camera, right? Like, you know where the pit is, the camera pit is, and so you want to be kind of like either locked in on a camera for your walk, or you're just looking straight ahead, kind of like off in the distance. Every like now and then, and this is definitely more of a Chicago thing, because Chicago runways tend to be a little more, they can be a little more laid back and like a little more almost like dancey, like movement oriented, and the crowds, like if you're with a crowd that's like less like of the high fashion, like quiet and just like, oh, you know, but they're more like a crowd that's like into it and cheering and stuff. Then like sometimes I'll like make very specific selective eye contact with like people just to like get the crowd into it.
Would that be a dance one?
Yes,
with the dark room?
That one was very much like, that was actually, the production company was a dance studio, and so people were going crazy, and
that's cool.
That one was fun.
That's cool. All right, so let's switch gears a little bit, and then we'll touch on a couple of things and see if we can land this plane at some point.
Okay.
But so explain a little bit of how did you start this? Is it a family thing? Is it you know, related to how you grew up? Did you always have this, or were you like, well, you know, what's the origin of this?
Yeah,
because this is a unique thing. Genuinely, I'm like, you know, it's rare that you meet a male model, especially, you know, with an impressive catalog like this.
Not family at all. I grew up like small town Vermont. You know, not.
Oh,
like,
you're from Vermont?
Yeah. Middle of
I
nowhere.
didn't know that. I thought you were from here.
No.
Wow,
so like,
Vermont.
you know, fashion, modeling, acting, not really on anybody's radar out there. Very like small town.
Yeah.
I was always, and have always like loved like kind of the Hollywood scene, been interested in it, and thought it was like, I don't know, probably just fell for like the glamour of it and thought it was cool. And
you've been out there?
Yeah. But even just like, I think growing up, just like seeing like, oh, the city and like urban design, that's part of why I like studied architecture. It's just like, I love the energy and the design of cities and stuff. And so, but I'd never really had plans or thought I'm gonna like try and be a model. It was just really what it was graduated during COVID, at the start of COVID. So there's no jobs, had time on my hands, couldn't find work, and was living with a guy who enjoyed photography at the time, and we just kind of like started taking some photos. And I had it in my mind of like, oh, like that would be crazy, and I just sent it around to some agencies and got like interest and got signed with like a small boutique, and then it just kind of went from there. It wasn't really for most of it like anything that I was like, oh, like I could do modeling or be a model or think of myself as a model.
So people put it in your mind, or you were just bored and you had it yourself, or did whoever was taking pictures, or did they put it in your mind?
Yeah, it wasn't anybody like telling me to or anything. It wasn't
like
the
old lady at church or something.
No.
They're like,
no. Oh,
you're such a cutie. Yeah, and you're like, well, you're the seventh one. Maybe there's something here.
I don't even.
I gotta go look in the mirror.
It is so weird because I'm like, wow, the audacity to think like, yeah, I could be a model. Like, how did I don't know where did that? Yeah, I don't. I honestly can't even really remember like when it first happened. That I'm just like, oh yeah. I mean, I always thought it would be like cool and fun and like into fashion and the storytelling of it, and I never like disliked taking photos, which I feel like a lot of people do.
Right.
So it is,
Right.
but I think some of that lends itself to why it was like a pretty slow start for me, because I wasn't like going into it with any like pageant experience or being like super like gung-ho of like, oh, I'm gonna be a model. I was just kind of like, oh, let me try this. I
Yeah.
got time and like may
Yeah.
as well.
Was it countercultural to your family, I guess?
Yeah, I think so. My dad has always been, they like are supportive.
Yeah.
They're very offline, but they're like, I think they've always been, he's always been like a little hesitant just because of like what it could, you hear all the stories about it,
Yeah.
and like, he just knows that like it's a scene with a lot of temptation and a lot
Right,
of like,
yeah.
a lot of routes that you could go down that
Yeah.
are like not good and not healthy for you.
A
And
lot more than you would experience if you
I
worked
was
at
an accountant.
Walmart.
Yeah,
If you were an accountant.
Yeah,
if you
yeah.
just did the architecture. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
For sure. And so, and I am exposed to all sorts of things, and that's kind of, needing to have boundaries and,
Yeah.
your personal values and pursuing what you want to pursue. My mom she lives like she's 19 to this day. So she's like all about it and thinks
Oh, really?
it's awesome. Yeah. No, she thinks it's cool.
I love that.
But she's, and my siblings.
Like she's 19. What a
Yeah.
compliment. I love that. I love that. I hope that's me.
She's nuts. My siblings they're all very supportive and like
Yeah.
happy for me in it, but they're all like, I don't get it. Like not anything that I would want to do or anything like that. But
No family members are throwing some slurs around at you because
no,
of this.
no.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, not fully. But they're like have no interest in it,
Yeah.
but they think it's really cool that I can do it.
Absolutely.
So I got their support, which is good.
Did family realities or something craft this a little bit? Was it, if like internal family health or dynamics, did that contribute or
That's a good question. I don't know. I think there is some, like my parents are separated
Yeah.
from a very early age, and I think
Yeah.
that's something that I've realized.
I said, yeah, like everybody knows that. I'm like,
duh.
well, yeah.
it's
Duh.
it's on your Instagram.
It's on Google.
I think that is
Right.
something that as I've grown older and dived into it more, like I have realized has really shaped kind of a desire for like belonging in me and a desire for acceptance. And from a young age, what that looked like is like, I think maybe fueled some of like the looks maxing of like, I don't want anybody to be able to like turn me down or turn me away because I'm like, don't look good enough.
Right.
And it's fueled me to be a high achiever. And to what it is now, I don't know if that's, I don't know if that like kind of how that plays into modeling other than just like, it gave me a lot of sense of like taking pride in like taking care of my health and my body and, my skin and just like making sure,
Yeah.
I'm in good form, I guess.
Right.
But,
Right. I think
yeah.
that's perfectly normal.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting. So, yeah, I even for myself, and again, I don't want to make it about me, but something like this is
Please do.
appealing because if I'm by myself, I can go 3-4 days of not paying attention to how I look or anything. And then when I go out to the store, I do kind of catch myself and I'm like, "Dude, what have I been doing?" So it's cool to have as like a frequent staple in your life, something that calls you to pull the best out of you.
Yeah.
Where if you look in the mirror, you go, "Gosh, dang, I don't look good." Like it's very easy because I've done this to just plateau.
Yeah.
Or to
Yeah.
decrease and to be fine with it because you're not put in a position where other people are looking at you.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm not actually put off by like the pride or anything of that too much, because even as a Christian, I like the idea of having excellence as a standard.
Yeah.
So when did that start? You were little and you were kind of looking in a mirror and you're like, well, I don't want people to disregard me because of how I look. When did that kind of start?
I think probably where I really remember it was maybe like my first like serious relationship.
Yeah.
Like, my first like girlfriend and
Kindergarten. Was that kindergarten?
Yeah, preschool. And
When was that?
No, it was later in life.
Yeah.
High school.
High school.
I think maybe junior, senior year. Obviously I think there's like insecurities of abandonment and being left and stuff like that was still there, but it wasn't until like I distinctly remember in my head after getting broken up with, like telling myself Like, I'm going to better myself and be good enough that like no one would ever dump me again.
Wow.
Like I remember having that thought, which is just asinine,
Right.
like that's like not how it works. And I don't know if that's like, that to say like the modeling stuff I've never really struggled with, I think, the pride aspect of it. It's never because I don't think I necessarily have a very high opinion of myself.
It seems like you're self-aware quite a bit.
Yeah.
Like you're able to check yourself along the way. Yeah.
What it more is for me is just that image consciousness, I think, in doing stuff to like for others rather than for myself or for my faith, and doing stuff to like try and like please others and being a people pleaser more than anything else.
You feel like that?
I feel like that's a bigger struggle than like thinking I'm like the bee's knees.
Oh, interesting. And so when did your parents split?
I was 3. I was really young.
You were early.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I was wondering if there's any correlation between high school and all of that, if it did happen at the high school, during high school.
Yeah. I think that was something that it kind of like probably just marinated and was present for a lot of it, and why I look to a lot of like ways to make myself likable, I guess, growing up, and then turning that into like being very fashion focused and appearance focused.
Has that ever, do you feel like that's something that's still present, or did that resolve itself?
I've been in therapy for 5 years.
Yeah.
So that
everybody should be.
Yeah.
Everybody should be.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
I'm highly.
Me as well.
Yeah. I think it's awesome.
Yeah.
And that has been super game changing for me. In terms of like actually addressing some of these things and coming to terms with it, and giving myself better boundaries and doing things more for myself and for my own values rather than for the people around me. And so I can confidently say I think I'm in a much better place for that now. And even like I've talked about like this recently, kind of like refocusing, because I was finding myself like, I'm making these decisions and I'm creating this content and I'm posting on my Instagram, all this stuff that's just because I want like agencies to notice me and bookers to notice me, and I'm not necessarily creating content that I personally enjoy in what I'm doing. And so it was, there's a lot of like little times throughout life that I just need to remind myself and refocus and do that. But I do think like overall I have a much healthier relationship with it now. And that, comes from a lot of ways, like the circles that I run in, the friends that I keep, and even the modeling friends. I think I have a pretty tight knit. I don't make friends with everybody, but the people that I choose to like hang out with outside of set and just be actual friends with are people who share good values and I think have a pretty good realistic approach to their career in it as well. And so, that just rambled a lot, and I don't know if
No, you're good. You're good. And I'm sorry. We've kind of been talking about this for a few minutes, maybe too long. But no, everything you said was good. Have you found that I was impressed by your outwardness? Mm-hmm. That's what I was trying to say. Have you found that those two have contradicted your Christian faith and modeling and the world that comes with that? I don't need you to bash on your career and the industry and everything. Don't do any harm to yourself. But is that does that contradict a little bit?
Yeah. I definitely at first was, I think, nervous to like portray that and to be like so open about my faith and struggle with that. I think because of some of my own, stigmas or ideas of like what the industry was like. And, of course there's going to be opposition to that,
there is everywhere too. In general, there's a base level.
But and so some of that comes back to what I talked about of just like kind of finding my people and people that I know are
there other people who think about Jesus?
Cool, and I have several like modeling friends that are Christians or
nice.
Some shared faith. But I think more of that too is just that continued journey of being authentic, being authentically me. And so like, you know what, I'm going to put it in my Instagram bio. I'm going to post it on my story. And like, if people don't like that, they can unfollow me or they can,
you're willing to lose a gig. If somebody's like, oh, he's a Christian.
And to be honest, my the overall, I feel like I say to be honest a lot. The overall sentiment is there's a lot more acceptance and just you know, the industry of creatives, there's a lot of people who are all over the map,
right.
you know, and come from all sorts of backgrounds, believe all sorts of different things.
Yeah.
And
I believe it. Yeah.
And a lot of times, especially if like, at least if I'm leading first with love and not
right.
like condemning anybody themselves and, you know, maybe even if they don't, their lifestyle is not something I agree with or not something that I feel comfortable with.
Right.
As long as I'm not like shaming people and I'm feeling, I feel as strongly in all aspects. Like the greatest way for me to live out my faith is to lead with love and, but still being open about, you know, who I am and who I am in Christ. And that's something that, I think people are okay with, you know, being somebody who leads with love first, like that's never wrong.
And it takes the bite out of it too, immediately. Yeah, it totally does. And there's this thought that I feel is like, it's this dichotomy of like Christians who haven't experienced the world a lot, which you have, and I'd like to think I have too. So a couple of like cultured Christians sitting here, a lot of people that don't have that experience think the world is, they're very closed off and they're completely against you. And if you even bring up anything, they'll shut you down and you'll get beat up because you bring up Jesus or something. And which it sounds like you're saying too, I actually find that people are like actually more open to it. Yeah. Which is weird. And there is still that, that rubbing against the grain a little bit that some people will have. But I find that the world isn't actually as scary as maybe me, who went to like a very private Christian school, was led to believe. Right.
It's not like people are necessarily like breaking down the door to like hear what I gotta say and like want to hear more about it. But
you're still in the room. They're not kicking you out.
Right. Yeah. And one of my favorite things, I guess, is just when you are putting that out there and being open to that, that's when you see like, or find other people who share those values that like you wouldn't have if you weren't so open, you know, like when I post that stuff, who's going to interact with my story and like, you know, be supportive or share their faith as well with me and stuff. And like, you know, learning that about other people in the industry that I wouldn't have found otherwise is really cool.
Well, I love your prioritizing because a lot of people, myself included, that's why I was impressed by somebody who runs in these sort of circles is still posting, you know, on Christmas or whatever it was about their faith, is because I'm a culprit of it too. But a lot of people, you know, I always think in terms of your priorities. You know, so a lot of people would say, oh no, my modeling career or how I'm viewed by others or whatever it is comes first and then it's Jesus. So I'll do the Jesus stuff as long as it doesn't potentially take a bite out of the first thing. It was cool seeing you, who runs in an atmosphere and a culture like this, still say, no, number one is number one. And number two is very dear to me. I love it. I want to do this. I'm passionate about it. I'm passionate about the runway and the modeling and everything. But no, number one is still going to break through that. Yeah. That's such an impressive thing. Dude,
it's hard. And I thank you for saying that, because I don't feel like I do a good job at it.
No, the fact that you do it at all is leaps and bounds above me, is leaps and bounds above everybody else. Well, I don't want to condemn everybody. You know, I people will probably know what I'm trying to say.
It's hard.
But somebody who's really truthful enough to even say, you know what, I could lose a gig or two. Yeah. I don't know if I've had to have that reality, and you've had to, and you still chose the right thing. So it's very impressive.
Thanks.
Yeah, man.
Appreciate it.
What are a couple of things, you've looked at me for a little while? What are what are a couple of things I could do? What are some health tips you'd give me?
Dude, okay, skincare I think is the number one thing. That's what I was going to say. What
did you message me? You messaged me a couple of things, and then I didn't do it. By the way, I'm giving you 800 views on this.
Perfect. Yeah, I hope it counts. Keep it running.
Yeah, I hope they do count.
If you want to comment and stuff too, that'd be great.
What are Creighton's? Let's do it. And Creighton's health tips.
Creighton's health tips. Okay.
And for everybody listening on audio, this is I will just describe him. He is a 5'4" Polynesian man and he has
cystic acne, unfortunately.
cystic acne.
But I'm working on it.
And he hasn't even put pants on. This has been a very odd interview.
Now they're all rushing to YouTube to see the video.
I got to funnel them to the real moneymakers. I've been very uncomfortable this whole time. No, what is Creighton's 5 health things?
5, okay. Skincare. I'll say skincare. I always am a big proponent of at least doing something. Don't ignore your skin. And there's really widespread stuff you can do for it if you want to dig really deep, or you can just like daily, like, cleanse and moisturize.
So do both, because then when I messaged you, I was serious. I was like, well, what are some easy things to do?
Okay.
But then I was like, no, like, what are some actual healthy habits you have? Because this is me. And if there's one thing I'm good at, it's making it about myself. This is me. I'll do the sauna or whatever. I do the red light dry sauna.
Is that do you have your own sauna?
I have my own thing.
You have your own.
It sits in the corner and you zip up and it sits right here and you put your hands out and you literally look like some sort of like Arctic Oompa Loompa. And you're like this. But
what?
I sit down in it. I sit in it.
Okay.
And I crank it up to 170 degrees. And because over like 150 or 155 is optimal. And I do that. So I asked you, what are some behavioral things you do? Because like me, I'm sure a lot of people are like, well, what are the secrets?
Yeah.
But meanwhile, if you're getting 8 hours of sleep, you're working out every day, your cortisol levels are low, that's the real thing that people have to change. What I have a problem with is I'll, eat healthy, and then I will do the sauna or something, and then I will go to sleep really late, and I will not work out. And I'm like, what's my deal? It's like, painting the car and then just launching it into the lake every night. And then you fetch it out in the morning, you're like,
why does it look
this way? I vacuum the interior. I'm really good about that. Meanwhile, you just wreck yourself.
Yeah.
And I feel like, I got wrinkles and bags under my eyes. So do both. Do like easy things to do and then actual fundamental things that are healthy.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I mentioned skincare.
And that's it, folks. Thanks so much. Really appreciate you being here. Again, this is Big Whoop.
Don't forget to buy V8.
Yeah. No. Go on. What? I'm sorry. I cut you off.
Morning and night skincare, I think is great for everybody. And like I said, there's a bajillion products out there, but at least getting like a cleanser and moisturizer and a toner kind of thing. Morning and night. The
cleanser. I got to think this through. Cleanser. Is that just a good soap?
Soap. No.
Come on. Spit it out.
Spit it out, man.
Come on. Film is expensive.
It's called, there's like cleansers. It is a type of soap, but it's like very gentle on your face. Like, don't just use like bar soap. And
that kept me from acne kind of my whole life. Now I look like I'm 35, but from middle school and high school, alpha hydrox soap, face soap, I used it every day and I never really had acne. So when you say cleanser, you're skipping soap.
Yeah.
Soap is just so obvious, you're moving to cleanser.
Yeah, well, I mean, a cleanser it's what you would use in place of soap to wash your face. So it is like a soap.
Sorry, okay.
But it's cleanser specifically is like a soap formula for face, and it's gentle on your face. And then, there's other products to use too, like all kinds of serums and stuff. But I would at least get a cleanser. I would at least moisturize, and then if you're out, most people say use SPF every day in the morning.
Yeah.
I'm not as good about doing that. But if it's sunny out, if you know you're gonna be in the sun, use SPF, like sunscreen. That's big stuff.
And this is the morning
and night.
This is morning and night. Don't have to do the sunscreen at night.
Yeah, I would at least use a cleanser.
Yes.
I like a toner and then a moisturizer.
And is that order? That's step 1, step 2, step 3 of application.
Yep.
Cleanser, moisturize, cleanser, toner, moisturizer. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
And you do that every day.
Yeah. And I have other steps too. Mine's like 5, 6, 7 steps that I do morning and night every day. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And then sleep. Sleep is probably the one that I'm the worst at too.
Okay.
I try to get to bed by 11 o'clock, and then
Ends up being 1.
yeah.
Ends up being 1.
I mean, well, my goal is 10 o'clock every night. Usually then I'm to bed around 11, a little after.
When do you have to wake up in the mornings?
And then I get up and go to the gym early, so I usually get up
Yeah.
like 5:30. So it's
I
like
need something in the morning. Otherwise, I just drift and then I sit.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right.
so
right.
that's for me, like working out
Yeah.
daily. I have heard, and I think that the neuroscience behind just like 15 minutes a day is really all you need. Not if you want to be like a bodybuilder, but like if you want to be general healthy,
Yeah.
like raising your like heart rate and
Yeah.
stuff just for like 15 minutes a day is really like all it takes. And it's so beneficial. And, you know, now I'm at the point where like I've been doing it for long enough that like it's easier to maintain.
Yes.
Starting off, it's,
Totally
it's
true.
harder.
Totally true.
But, you know,
Yeah.
there's all sorts, just like good walks, hikes, like going for runs, like simpler stuff is a good way to start out. Paired with that, food is just as important. The third thing.
Right.
So some of the more intense stuff that I do is like fasting. I like to do.
Oh, you're a faster?
I like to do intermittent fasts.
Yeah. Intermittent
especially in like busy seasons, and like if I'm prepping for a shoot coming up, then I'll do like a 8 on 12 or 8 on 16 off kind of
Yeah.
thing. And that
What's your 8 on? Is it morning to lunch or is it lunch to
12 to 8 is my hours.
12 p.m. to 8 p.m. you eat?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. And then I'm off until the next day. And you know, you can have like, there's specific things you can have while you're
Yeah.
fasting. Like electrolytes are usually good, and those I found are a godsend. If anybody,
Yes.
you know, is wanting to do it, take electrolytes. That's basically, because usually if you start to
Yeah.
fatigue and stuff, it's more out of dehydration.
Yes. Yeah.
So-
Get a little salt in you.
Yes.
Get some
Yep.
electrolytes. Yeah.
Yep.
And that's totally true. I have a couple in my car too.
Yep.
What were you saying?
Back to me.
Yeah.
And yeah, so
Does your physical health connect
to mental health and
mental health and then even
well-being.
spiritual too a
Yes.
little bit?
100%. I
Yeah.
found that for me so much, and a lot
You're
of it is
somebody
like,
who all three are binded together.
Yes,
I
very
am
much
too.
so.
I am too.
And-
When I'm not working out or anything, I know that it's totally it takes a toll.
and
I'm almost
it puts
jealous
it-
of those who it's not binded.
Yeah, no,
Yes.
for real,
Yeah.
100%. Like,
Yeah, I'm almost jealous of that. It's like for me, I'm fully on or I'm fully off.
yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if it's the same way for you.
It's so that's why for me, like my morning routine has become so important, because like that's where I get up. I do my workout, I do skincare, like getting ready for the day, and like devotional time, things like that. Like all in the morning, like that, getting that done at the start of the day just helps me feel so like primed and like ready for the day. I struggle with evening workouts just because it feels like they just become too inconsistent for me and how the rest of my day is going to be. So like, I know for me personally, it works best to just get my workout done in the morning. That's where I'm the most locked in and the most like primed to do it, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, it does. If I miss like some of that like routine and feeling ready, I just kind of feel like my day started off weird and I'm not as primed. And
I've been doing that
locked in.
for like 6 months now. It's not good. It's really not good.
Dude.
It's not good to not have anything.
When's your workout usually?
Right.
Like, is it better for you to do it at night or in the morning?
Right. Right. No, it's a good point. That's a good, yeah. I agree.
Yeah. Anyways, next topic.
No, it's in the morning. It's in the morning. Okay, let's wrap this thing up. What are a couple of things that you want to bring up?
Oh,
TikTok,
that I'm
Insta-
creating.
Yeah. Things that you'd like some people to look up.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, I guess if you're here about my modeling work, my my Instagram's the main place to find that. We talked about that. Just my full name, Creighton North. There it is. And you know, I have a TikTok. You can find it through the link trees and stuff in there. That's a little bit more of me just figuring myself out and posting whatever random stuff. And it's kind of embarrassing to even be showing it right now. But yeah, it's I love collaborating, doing stuff like this. So when you talked about having me on, like I was super excited because I just any of this stuff and I have made a lot of friends in doing different fields like this and making film and doing podcasts and doing shorts and all that stuff. It's just gets me super excited. And I know we've connected on it before too, just like the ideas of stuff we have and stuff we want to produce. So
There was a youth group song, Hit the Cray button. You remember that?
Can you play that as the outro?
I could
drop it in and
I can play it right now.
Let's get cray, turn it up.
Creighton, thanks so much for being here.
Yeah, man. This was awesome.
A good guy. Check him out on Instagram. Check him out on YouTube. This is a creative fellow, and the stuff he puts out is good. God bless. Bradley, back to you. Yeah, drink the V8. Would somebody just drink the dang V8? Somebody drink it and send it in.
It's good to have with your friends.
Yeah, that's right.
There it is.
Cheers. See you guys.